Take two. How are we doing? The internet. What's been going on with the internet today? So, how are we, beautiful people? Hope everyone is fantastic. I look like a Michelin man at the moment because I have probably about 20 layers of clothing on. It is freezing. I still haven't gotten over this this Bali, or I should say Bali withdrawal. So, you know, when you're back in Melbourne, it's absolutely freezing. The coldness actually goes down to your core. Matty G, how are you, mate? It has been a long time no see. Feeder, my sister, sending you love, sending you support. You know, and I'm sure that this live stream is going to bring a lot of understanding, but more importantly, it's going to shift your consciousness to you know, to where you're at, and you know what we really need to start focusing on. So a few big awakenings have been really coming into hey Sharon, how are we? And everyone else that is on. So I'm just going to roll it out with the information. I'm going to roll out with the really big you know, I'll say the wake-up calls, but the awakenings I've been experiencing. And in the last couple of, say, weeks, there's a lot of challenges. Looks sunny. Mate, it's a bloody it's an illusion. You go outside, it's sunny, and it's like minus, you know, when you go to the snow or something, to Antarctica, it's very white and sunny, but it's freezing. So what of the biggest things I want you to take away from this as well is that if we focus a millisecond on what we don't want in our lives, we are actually manifesting that, and we are bringing that, we are taking our consciousness awareness to that. So if we talk badly about somebody, or if we complain, or, you know, as they say, bitch, or anything like that, we're actually bringing that into our environment in a situation of, it's not going to serve us one little bit. So when I'm talking to you about a consciousness, and this is how I want everyone to get consciousness, yeah? Hey, Steve, how are you, my man? I replied back to your message the other day. I don't know if you got it or not, but I know that you're a busy guy. So this is what I want you to understand about consciousness, and how you are going to manifest all your desires into your so-called reality. So if you cross a street, so now my consciousness is talking to you guys, teaching, and if I drive right where I am now, my consciousness knows that I'm going to get hit by a car. That's how you need to start understanding how you're going to talk about consciousness. More importantly, that you need to start consciously talking your life into existence in a way that you are going to understand everything that you talk about, you think about, you drain your attention. When I say drain your attention, because when you're taking your attention to something that doesn't serve you, you're actually focusing, you're taking it, and it begins to drain you. Flip side, if you focus on what you desire, if you focus on what you truly are connected to and aligning, it will uplift you, yeah? So I want you to be consciously aware of being a beacon or an antenna. So imagine this, imagine those lighthouses, yeah? In the middle, they're on the edge of the ocean, and they need to send a message to the ship, so the ship can go, okay, there's land, there's the light, boom, there's a message, and I'm going to get there. You need to simulate that or reciprocate that as what you desire in your life. And that comes down to setting your intention, but more importantly, it's where your consciousness goes. So where your consciousness goes, information and results flow. So what I want you to consciously be aware of is sending out messages to the people that are on the same consciousness as you, that are going to receive your energy and that are going to receive your message. So what that means is you want to, like an antenna, sending a message out, a radio signal, or, you know, sending out, or whatever it might be, you need to, you know, if you don't believe, it's not going to work. But when they say imagination is nothing but consciousness. That who says what you're thinking of sending that message out, that it isn't getting to the people, yeah? Who says that, you know, when you are thinking about something, and the more you believe about what you have, that sustained thought, how you are going to manifest that in your life as well. So your belief system needs to be like a young child. When you're role playing, when you're, there's no limitations. There's, oh, you can't be that. When you have your imaginary friend, or you pretend you're a knight, or you're a hero and she's a princess, and there's Dungeons and Dragons and all that stuff. When you can start operating like that, your consciousness will take you, and life begins to get really sexy. Yeah, life will take you, or you will take life to another dimension, and things will start appearing just in front of you. And this is where life really becomes, as I like to say, really becomes sexy. So when you can really take yourself into a place where you can have this, that's what I'm telling you, people. It's not, oh, that's not going to happen, and we'll role play, and that's bullshit and all the rest of that. If you think that, if you say it, that's what you're going to get. Yeah, and it's quite disappointing. So you need to start having a consciousness of a young child, of having no limitations, having no, oh, that can't be real, or this can't be real, or whatever it might be. And you really need to be focusing and becoming exactly what you want. And on the flip side, and this is a big thing that you need to remember, if we are focusing on doom and gloom, if we are focusing on negativity, if we are focusing on other people, then you need to understand that with all these things that are coming about, that, look, it is perfect. 2-hour parking, you gotta love that. See, my consciousness was about parking then. And what happened? We got a park. There you go, people. Try it out for yourself, it works. So I'm going to have to quickly wrap this up soon, but I really want you to start looking at consciousness. Don't look at it as the whiz-bang, universal consciousness, cosmic, oh my God. You want to start to understand, is my consciousness is, if I cross the road, I know that I'm going to be hit by a car. My consciousness is, the more I focus on what I want, it's going to appear in my life. Yeah? So this is the problem. People's consciousness is so conditioned to focus on what doesn't serve them, what doesn't make them feel good. And you know what? This is what you need to consciously be aware of. You aren't overweight. You are on a journey to having a sexy, a body that you feel comfortable in, healthy, a body that you admire. You aren't broke. You are on a journey to abundance, to creating and learning. This position you're in now is just a lesson. My relationships, is gone. It's dysfunctional. I'm not supposed to be happy. It's no. That is just a moment in time. You are on a journey to rediscovering yourself, or rekindling the relationship, or not. But you should be excited because you have so much conscious control over your life that you can do what you want. It is a gift. So I'm going to say this to you again. If you cross the road and there's cars coming by, you are consciously knowing you'll either be hit by a car or you'll consciously miss it. If you consciously, and when I mean conscious, this is what I want you to get. If I don't believe that when I cross the road, that if I don't move, I'm not going to get hit by a car, I'm like, nah, I'm just going to cross the road. My consciousness says, well, whatever, but I don't believe I'll get hit by a car. You get hit by a car. That's how I want you to. You need to consciously believe that you will get hit by the car, but when you believe in your consciousness that you will achieve your desired outcomes of abundance, of happiness, of the right mindset, of all these different parables, that's when things will appear. When things start to manifest in your life is when you are truly in your power and when you're in your belief system. So this morning we're going over, Maddie and my beautiful partner, Maddie G and Jaboa, we're going over the structure of the workshop next week. And I'm going to be talking about understanding, having that consciousness. If you consciously say, I'm tired, you'll be tired. If you consciously say, it's cold, you will be cold. You can change that, because everything that doesn't serve you, you create it as a lie. So it's a lie that I feel cold. It's a lie that I feel tired. It's a lie that I feel sorry for myself. It's all these consciousnesses that you need to start understanding, people, that when you really understand the mythology, the metaphor for consciousness, that because what it is, and this is, for only a couple months ago, consciousness was this, whoa, it's this power, it's this cosmic being, it's this, something that I don't have, I have to learn. We've been born with it, but you need to understand what it is and what it isn't. So like I said, if someone's going to punch you, you are consciously knowing you need to move out of the way or you'll get hit in the face. If you don't believe you'll get hit, then you know what I'm saying? Like if that punch, you will get hit in the face. So, you're consciously saying, oh, I'm not going to get hit. That's the same as I'm not going to be successful. Do you know what I mean? You need to let your consciousness flow. So how I want to break this down so you don't get too, I was going to say too excited. I want you to get excited, too confused, is you want to be like a child role-playing and make-believing, but it's not make-believe, it's consciousness, that you are sending a signal out to the people that you want to work with. If you're wanting to attract another, you're sending a signal out to the person that you want to attract. Yeah, and you know that if you're sending the wrong signal out, you attract the wrong. If you're signaling the wrong information out for your clients, you attract the wrong clients as well. You know that. It's happened. I'm sure we've all experienced this before. So you want to be brutally control and consciousness of the message you're sending out. So if you're backstabbing somebody, that energy will come back to you. If you're always focusing on the doom and gloom, it will come back to you. If you're whinging, it comes back to you. And actually, when you start to talk about the negative and talk about whinging, or that actually starts to unwire all the great habits, all the great mythologies, all the great understandings of your mind. That's all the good work that you've done. When you start talking about the negative and you start talking about this person, that, and all that, what happens is you go backwards, and the neuroplasticity and the actual, I'm talking about the neuropaths are actually wired. They start to unwire themselves, and you lose your good habits. You lose your good routines. You lose your knowledge because you focus on the negative. With that negative, it's a different pulsation for your neuroplasticity, which is consistent and constant change. Yeah. Mr. David Tung, got a date with you, mate. So I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just rocking this out for a lot of people. And we'll be talking about this in person in a moment. So it is understanding that if you know that consciousness, if you keep a sustained thought in your mind and have that consciousness, you are going to attract that. And you will know when you are in your power or your pure belief system is when you attract that. If you don't have it, then it's not that it's not working, it's you're not working. You need to tweak and adjust that you're not doing something right, or you're not truly believing the understanding of what you're doing right now, or what you are focusing on. So in all your life areas, I have the consciousness of, my particular body type, of why I want to be that type, how's it going to make me feel, and, so on and so forth. My consciousness of my wealth, it creates freedom, time, choice, power, and growth. What consciously do I want to produce per week, per month, per year? And then what's the experience, a moment that's going to give that? What's the lifestyle and consciousness I have to build around that? I become that. My consciousness for contribution is, leaders creating leaders, impacting the lives of 1 million people. And that's conscious every day. People don't just switch off and on. And it's not like, okay, I need to do my meditation, or I need to do this. No. It is my life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to manifest helping 1 million people in one day, because you know what? That's a bit of an ask. Not saying that you can't. I'm not going to manifest $10 million in a day. Not saying you can't, but do you know what I'm saying? You don't want to put pressure on yourself. You don't want to get overwhelmed, but it's not I'm doing self-development or I'm doing meditation. That is your life. When you step into that and that becomes your life, you do not need to look for the time to meditate. You don't need to look for the time to, oh, geez, I need to do my consciousness awareness, or I need to do my success priming. That's part of your life. All this other fuzz stuff that's not going to, do you know what I mean? So when I mean fuzz stuff, when you're out of your mind, literally people out of their mind, that's when you get hurt. When you're out here, you've got other things that aren't really, important. You might be doing mundane jobs, or, you're getting affected by certain other people. You've got a job, you're around the wrong energy. You're sitting there, people cutting you off, people not caring about you, people not serving your higher purpose because they're not serving their own. That's going to really hurt you, and you're going to get burnt out. But that's why I'm telling you that you really need to stand guards at the doors of your mind, and everything needs to start within so you can reciprocate that on the outside. Yeah. So what's that meaning is that when you're creating a life of desire and when you're creating a life of your own design, that you need to stop and do what's important and put your consciousness in all your life categories so you have balance of what you consciously want to control, how your life is going to roll out. Yeah? Is this making sense? Thumbs up making sense, liking it, throw a few love hearts, and it is. And I know that when I am consciously in control of my life, and when I'm consciously believing what I truly believe, and I'm in the positive mind frame, and instead of me wanting to do, you know, oh geez, I need to do my success or I need to meditate, I don't need to do anything. That becomes me. It becomes my life. And the great thing what happens with that is when that becomes my life, I don't need to look for the time. I don't need to look for, you know, the tool belt. I don't need to be looking for all this stuff. It is what it is. So what you really need to start to understand that your desired outcomes, you become your desired outcomes. You melt together, because if you're doing work that you're wanting to, again, reciprocate that and move forward, you aren't going to achieve what you are, because you won't have the time. You'll have to look for the time. You'll get tired. You know, I truly don't believe I'm going to get it. Or because you're not in your belief system, my consciousness is saying, oh, no, I don't want it. And, you know, you self-sabotage, your old programming will get in. And you're doing things not like a professional human. You're doing things way away from how successful and very successful people operate, or where their universal consciousness is. That when you're open and on, not just off and on, your success blueprint switch needs to stay on. And that's going to keep the flow of consciousness happening. So like I say to you, my consciousness and the switch, if I cross the road, my consciousness knows that I'll get hit by a car. And it believes I will get hit by a car. So I will make sure you know what I'm saying? So if my consciousness is saying, okay, I want to desire this, I want that amount of money, I want to help this many people, I want my life to look like this, my health to be like that, I will see it when I truly believe it. So it's not going to happen overnight, but the higher and the flow, the more of a flow I have with my consciousnness, consciously, this is another way I'll explain it. What fills your mind predominantly, so what your mind is full of, so what you're focusing on most of the time will show up in your reality, good or bad. So what that means is, you want to be consciously control or conscious of what you desire most of the time or all the time in the right manner for you to manifest it, to bring it into your reality. But if you're focusing on getting, distracted by watching mindless TV, programming, complaining about negativity, complaining about this person, causing a ruckus, where's your consciousness? You're focusing on all of that. You're feeling shit. You're talking about stuff. You're putting that damaged ripple energy into the world and into the consciousness field. And do you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to get that back times 10 in a way that, they say karma, but I don't believe in karma. It's called reciprocity. It's like a energy that you put out in the universe, you get back. You put positive energy out, you get it back as well. So be very conscious of what you are focusing on throughout the day, and be very conscious of one of the biggest things and how I've known my success has just exploded. I visualize and I have a consciousness of myself as being an antenna, like a radio antenna, sending messages out to the right people. I'm not 100% conscious of who they are, what they look like. I have an avatar, I have a niche of the people that I want to bring in my environment, the people that I don't, the people that I want to help congruently from my heart, so on and so forth. And I tell you what, it's really, really filtered out the bullshit. It's really filtered out, and life becomes very easy and it becomes effortless because you're throwing out the right intention, and it's very clear and it's very precise. So you're knowing exactly what you want and you're knowing what you don't want. Yeah. And I found that it's really it's like, whoa, geez, this works. This is really starting to become, starting to become enjoyable because it's not hard. And then what happens? Your belief cycle. So you don't need to believe first. You take action, you get some result, and then you believe. So you take more action, you get another bit of result, and then your belief system goes up. You take more action, you get some result, and you believe. People go, I have to believe, or plan to plan. No, just take action you will get some result because you're taking action. You know, you don't need to have it all at once, but because you're taking some forward action, you're getting your belief system, and then the cycle starts to go. And because the more you believe, the more action you'll take, the greater the result. And then bang, then you've got a snowball of positivity, and your consciousness is focusing on believing. And when you believe, you will get what you want a lot faster, a lot stronger, and a lot more congruently. And that's where the magic happens. So take the time out to be conscious, go in your head. If it's meditation or whatever, if you feel like you're not getting what you want out here, it's because you haven't programmed or consciously focused on the control and the consistency of what you want in here. Remember, your inner mind it's the antenna. It's sending the signals out or not. And the more, what I found was that, you know what, oh yeah, you know, I'm getting results. I don't need to water the mind to feed the soul. So education and reading books and studying and, you know, and doing all that. I'm like, oh, you know, this is all cool. Guess what happened? It started to get hard. You know, the outside, you know, wrong energy started to affect me. I started to, just felt like I was doing over it again. But once you start becoming a sponge and a magnet for knowledge, you start absorbing it. And then I consciously, you know, I was consciously putting my intention out. Bang, it's already happened. It's already happened. And you act, don't become, you act. No, sorry, I don't like the word act. You are and you be as it's already, that you've already achieved it. The more you can be that, the more you believe, time and space will meet up. And before you know it, you've got it. So I better get out because I've got Mr. Tung waiting for me for a meeting. Be consciously aware of where your attention flows, information goes, and be consciously aware of being like a child and, as they used to say, make believe, but it's not make believe. You are focusing on everything you want. You're putting intent out there, and that's what it's about. Yeah, if you want to be whatever the identities are, you consciously keep focusing on that. And what is predominantly in your mind, so what is in your mind the most, with the right energy and the belief system, will appear in your reality the most. Okay? Have an amazing weekend. Be consciously aware of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and then beliefs, and then you'll be able to have everything you desire. Yeah, remember, your programming creates your thoughts create your feelings. What you feel creates your beliefs, and your beliefs are going to defer the action that you take, and the action is going to give you desired outcomes. Okay, guys? Thank you from everyone's around the world. I know there's people all around Australia, England, America, and everywhere else. So have a great day. And again, be consciously aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're saying. Talk yourself into existence, not out. Take care, guys. Much love, much respect. Thank you. Have an awesome day.